Hey everyone! Welcome back! I am back today with more Kamen Rider Saber, you guys. I am so excited to see what is going to happen next on the show. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, wow, guys, just wow. Last time on Saber, we had possibly maybe one of the coolest things happen on this show so far. I mean, it's been a pretty cool show so far, but I was just not prepared for the awesomeness of the scene when they reach Avalon and they discover King Arthur, and Touma gets the King Arthur book and the blade. Oh my god, the blade. So I really lost my mind over the blade because I think that Kamen Rider has some of the best swords in general. So having like the sword, like kind of the epitome of what a true sword should be, embodied in Kamen Rider form, was very, very fun, and I really enjoyed that scene. But we do have an ordeal that's about to begin now because of that, so I really need to know what that's all about. I can't even imagine what he could have meant by that, but it felt very dramatic, so I think there's definitely going to be some stuff around the corner. A couple other things, we had Rintaro and his big scene and the payoff of his training, and I thought that was really cool. Loved the effect, just loved him like showing up and getting to have this great hero moment. Already, like, we're only, I think that was episode 7, and it just feels like he's already like having an arc, which is really cool. And I've said this before, that it doesn't feel like the characters are really getting lost on the show. That being said, don't expect me to remember all the names right away, but like, I don't feel like there's characters getting lost. Like, who is this again? But speaking of that, they did something that I want to point out a little bit more, because some of you guys brought it up to me in the comments, and I'm like, that is suspicious. When we had Caliber show up last episode, he was not henshined, and they like obscured how he looked, and that's why at first I was like, wait, is that supposed to be Caliber or not? Like, I feel like it is Caliber, but why are we already know who it is, like, but is there a twist with that as well? And that's kind of what you guys were saying, like, is it or isn't it? Why would they obscure his face? That's suspicious. So I'm really excited to see what is going to happen next. I've been having a blast with it so far. Love how everything is done and just how creative and imaginative it is. Little bit of video etiquette before we go ahead and get started on the next episode. I had mentioned before in one of my posts that I had a fun little addition coming to Hime Land this week, and I'm very, very excited to say that I have a beautiful new puppy. She is adorable. I was planning on kind of like doing the Lion King thing with her and introducing her to you. But she is a very, very small baby right now. And she is not quite ready for that. She is currently being looked after in another room, but I did want to just get it out of the way that if you, she's actually being really good so far, but if you hear like noises and stuff, that's what it is. So for that reason too, I'm also going to have, and you guys know I'm not like crazy about earbuds, but I'm going to go ahead and wear the earbuds for today because just in case, you know, there is any like little arfing going on, I won't be as distracted if I have the earbuds, because it'll kind of put my focus more on the show. So what do you say we go ahead and get started with this next episode of Saber? Let's go. All right, you guys. That was incredible. I can take these out now because I'm just going to get them caught. Okay, let's talk about that. Because what even was that? So I think the entire time I was expecting Touma to like turn into something resembling King Arthur, which would have been cool, but they went the completely unpredictable route and had a literal MECHA ARTHUR emerge. And Kamen Rider Saber lived up to his namesake and literally became... There's a lot of like literal things in this episode. He literally wrote his own story. Like, I know people use that word like crazy now, but he literally wrote his own story, and he literally is Saber. He is Excalibur. Is that what we're to... If he's Excalibur, then how does that relate to Caliber? And Caliber sounds like he really, really, really wants that power too. And then that photo at the end. The photo at the end, though, with the three of them. I know the one guy is supposed to be Kento's dad, but it seemed like we were focusing more on the other guy in the picture. Do we know him already? Are we aware of him? Should I be aware of him? Is it something I'm blanking on? Or is this like the introduction of a new element, new character? Is it someone they already mentioned? Like maybe Rintaro's master, somebody who was there 15 years ago? I don't know. Also, speaking of characters, so somebody warned me ahead of time like there was going to be a Gaim reference, because I guess there are new Gaim OVAs out, which, yes, I'm aware, and yes, I've been hearing great things. But, I mean, that was just so much fun. It wasn't even like a cameo. It was just there, and I just love it. Absolutely loved that. So glad I didn't miss it. Like, I don't know how you could, but if anyone could, it would be me. But that was just really fun, just to like... So, okay, so not to get off on a tangent, but that really opens up some interesting stuff with Zio, doesn't it? With all the different Kamen Rider worlds, because like apparently the Gaim world does have something to do with the Saber world, which is pretty interesting. I just was not prepared. I was not prepared for MECHA ARTHUR. That was incredible. I loved it. I knew when the series was called Kamen Rider Saber that it would have like a fantasy element, but I never guessed on the literal saber part of it. Also, I just love the values and lessons that they're teaching. It was a really, really great lesson to teach, you know, rely on your friends and don't try to take things all on yourself. Working together and working to the best of each person's strengths in the group context is a much better way. And I thought maybe they were going to drag it out a little bit and have like, oh, is Touma going to go down like a dark road because of like some kind of corrupting power that King of Arthur brings about? But no. And I'm glad that maybe we're not going quite that dark this early. I'm sure we're already going some really crazy places on this show, but it was a great lesson. I've said many times I love that they're like teaching kids about reading in this, and I love that they're teaching about friendship as well. It's a good lesson for all of us. So is a reading one, for that matter. Reading is good, friends are good. So all right, loved it, absolutely loved it. Need to know more about that ending with the photo though. That was crazy. Great stuff from Touma here as well. I'll say it again. I just absolutely love the acting from that actor. I love Touma. I love that he just really has like a quiet strength. It's really great. And you see more and more of it each episode. So, all right, guys. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by what took place with King of Arthur and that. I just was not prepared. To think that like the craziest thing before this episode would have been like Ripped Tank or the Three Pigs. And those are still crazy awesome. But MECHA ARTHUR. It was amazing. All right, guys. That was so good. Each episode they top themselves, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Had a blast with that episode. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.